Hello, good morning, Wojak ETH community. Today is December 18th, 2025. Some news came out, well, speculation, I guess, over the past couple hours. It seems like the volatility we've seen, especially in Bitcoin recently, a lot has to do with selling from Asia. Because we knew that ARC and MicroStrategy, these institutions, they kept buying Bitcoin. So where do the sellers come from? Seems like a lot of them come from Asia, and much of the selling was not voluntary but forced. These miners, for example, they have to free up liquidity to remain in operation, and some miners, they probably have to force to be moved out of China, and they need capital to do that. And just my own 2 cents, I have zero proof, but I would not be surprised if the Chinese government and the Indian government, they kind of using this period before the new Fed chairman was announced, and before the QE starts, they kind of use this period to sabotage, the U.S. financial system, and they knew that by attacking crypto, attacking Bitcoin, it's the most direct way to drain liquidity from the U.S. financial markets. Um, I would not be surprised if Bitcoin, let's say tomorrow, drops 50%, then if the Fed cannot print money in time, cannot inject liquidity in time, then the U.S. will fall into a severe recession, even a depression. And I think the Chinese policy makers, they know that, and that's why they're buying a lot of precious metals and shorting crypto. I think it could be a coordinated attack on the financial system of the West. But right now we have stable Bitcoin price. Today I checked, the price actually went up a little bit. Of course, we've been fooled so many times before, so I don't really take too much stock, in this 1 or 2 day increase. I think I saw a post yesterday saying that Bitcoin had decreased 50% compared to gold this year. And if Bitcoin is to enter into bull market, that its price should rise to at least 180,000. So until Bitcoin crosses that line, we can't really be sure that we're in the good times are back. But at this time, we're still, I'm personally still accumulating Wojak again, because I believe in a bull market. Wojak is going to be the fastest horse, simply because the supply is extremely short, and most holders, major holders, they're strong hands, and many of the retail JEETs, they've already sold their bags, so there won't be any selling pressure when the price finally moves. Instead, there's going to be a supply shock. um, and It's funny that today I saw a post by Samson Mao saying that Fundstrat is going to sell their Ethereum and transfer it, and use the money to buy Bitcoin. So they're going to change, supposedly, from a Ethereum treasury company to a Bitcoin treasury company. I was really shocked. I said, "Oh, that's bad news for Ethereum and bad for Wojak." Then I did a little more research, and then I realized that it was really a joke. I think someone made a post on X, confused Samson Mao with CZ. You know, they were talking about CZ, but posted the picture of Samson Mao, because all Asians look alike, of course. And Samson Mao was just, you know, I guess play along with this joke and pretended that he was Tom Lee, who was, the chairman of Fundstrat and the owner of the millings of Ethereum. So it's a total joke, nothing to worry about. And that's the thing, many times seeing crypto, even like jokes like this, if you're not careful, it might, cause some kind of FUD. And if you are not diligent enough to do your own research, you might sell your bag when you hear something like this. So that's why doing your own research is so important. I'm just a random guy on internet. Don't trust what I say. Don't trust what CZ says. Don't trust what Samson Mao says. Not even what Michael Saylor says, because the truth they speak, they're well intentioned, but it's what they believe. Based on their experience, their judgment, and you cannot really borrow somebody's faith. You have to develop your own, because when tough times come, if your faith is borrowed, if it's based on somebody else's faith or somebody else's um, exposition, you will not be able to hodl through the tough times. You will sell. Your emotions will get control of you, and you will end up selling low and buying high. But if it's your own faith, you would do the opposite of what the market does. When everybody is being fearful, you're buying. When everybody is being greedy, you're taking profit. And that's really the only way to survive in this market. You can't outsmart the scammers. The scammers, they got the experience, they got the money, the bag to manipulate the market. Just look at the recent fiasco between these two knockoff Wojaks. I saw supposedly the OG Wojak on Solana. Right now it's back down to, I think 200,000, 300,000 market cap. And just a day ago, 2 days ago, it was over 1 million. So it dropped like 75% in 2 days. So you can't outsmart these kind of manipulation. I mean, just when you think, oh, this thing is gonna run another 10x, you FOMO in, and these scammers dump, and you get trapped. So the only way to defeat market manipulation is to hodl, and that's why some people, they were speculating that there's a coordinated attack on Bitcoin recently. It's like yesterday, for example, there was a huge run up of Bitcoin for $3,000 and huge dump, $4,000 dump, and ended up, maybe $300 million worth of long and shorts got liquidated. And that's why, you want to avoid leverage, because without leverage, you will not be liquidated when the price fluctuates like this, right? And, being a market participant, I personally support these kind of liquidations. I know it sounds cruel, but the people who get liquidated are the gamblers. So they're the ones who use 20x, 30x, even 100x leverage. They're not really investing; they're gambling. And I think the market is healthier without these gamblers. A lot of people are speculating the reason why October 10th happened. The big dump. Many people are blaming Binance. But I think, one of the reasons was probably the over leverage in the market during that time. So you have probably billions of dollars that's levered up, 50x, 100x. And if the price moves drastically like that in one day or within an hour, many of the highly leveraged positions cannot be filled, and that's why it causes the gridlock in the trading system among these big exchanges like Binance and Coinbase. It's not. I don't think it was anything nefarious anybody did, but people love to blame on a certain person, of course. But I think it's really just highly levered market getting congested when these abnormal market conditions surface. So I think, I don't think that the crypto market can truly move until the gamblers are flushed out. So, I hope none of the Wojak community uh, is using high leverage. The best way to defend against any kind of market manipulation is just to hodl, buy and hodl, and that's how you defend yourself against these fleecing from the whales. So that's all I have for today. Just thank you for um, all the members, Francois, to Reverend Cloud, Billionaire, Ash, all the people who are active and just sharing and commenting and liking each other's comments. Thank you guys so much. You guys are truly encouraging. I don't know about other people, at least to me, because it shows the community is alive, is real, is vibrant. Um, and shout out to all the people I forgot to mention. Just hold on tight. I think we're turning a corner, and good times are ahead. So let's just support one another, encourage one another, in this darkness before the light, before the dawn. All right, take care, everyone.